Hello, welcome to Ofwe TV. Thank you for stopping by my channel today to watch my videos. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button so that you'll be alerted whenever I drop a new video. But those of you who have been coming here and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so that you never miss any of my videos. All right. So today I'm going to talk to you about the interview progress update for DV2023 in a select few embassies. So guys, if you want to hear about your country's embassy, then you need to put it in the comment section so that I will know about it, and as more people from your country request those updates, I'll make videos about them. But today is just a handful of embassies that I want to talk about their progress update. The reason why videos like this is very important is just to make sure that you know what is going on, because not knowing what is going on can be very frustrating for many of you guys, especially if you haven't received your interview notification yet. Then you are stressing and wondering, like, when will they get to me? I get a lot of those emails about people asking, when am I going to get my interview and that. So I'm just going to give you progress update from some embassies to help you know what is going on. All right, but guys, subscribe, okay? Now the first embassy that we'll talk about will be the U.S. embassy in Monrovia, Liberia. So far that embassy has interviewed 131 cases. The highest case number among them will be the case number 34K. So if you're 34K or somewhere around in there, then you know that, hey, they could possibly get to you. So far 11 visas have been issued. 284 applicants have their status shown as ready. 284 shown as ready. Ready includes people who are yet to go for interview and people who may already have completed their interview. But the bottom line is that when your case status shows as ready, it means that the embassy has possession of your case. 6 visas have been refused. 6 applicants were refused visas at the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia, and then 21 have been refused under 22(1)G. 22(1)G is when the embassy is asking you for further documentary evidence. They are asking you to provide some information, provide something to aid them in continuing their review of your case. And the most typical thing for people in Liberia could be, your name. There are some people whose names are associated with warlords in Liberia. We know that Liberia went through a long period of civil war, and there were warlords who have been sanctioned by the American government. So there are some applicants whose last names may be kind of related to those warlords. They might not be related to them, but their name are, have some resemblance to the names of the warlords, and the embassy could need more information to continue the processing. Next up is the U.S. Embassy in Accra, Ghana. So far, 155 cases have been scheduled at the U.S. Embassy in Accra, Ghana. 108 visas have been issued by this embassy. 6 applicants have been placed in AP. 125 applicants have their status shown as ready. And when it says ready, it could be including people who are yet to attend interview, and then people who may have completed their interview. But it's just a combination of those two. And then 17 visas were refused. That is permanent refusal at the U.S. Embassy in Accra, Ghana. And then 19 cases are under 22(1)G. And typically in Ghana, it could be that they ask for somebody to go and bring the original birth certificate, original marriage certificate, original school certificate. Bring something. When it's refused on the 22(1)G, then it's obviously for them to request for more documents from you. The highest case number that has been attended to was 19K. So don't forget about that. But the U.S. Embassy in Accra, Ghana, we hope that they will do better, because they selected over 3,000 people. So 155 is not that impressive. So hopefully they will do better with time. The next step is the U.S. Embassy in Lilongwe, Malawi. So far, they have scheduled two cases so far. The highest case number is 10K. But guys, be reminded that Malawi has only 23 selectees from that country. So far, 3 visas has been issued. 1 applicant has their status as ready, and that is it. So Malawi, they have just 2 cases so far. 3 visas have been issued. 1 applicant is status shown as ready, and the highest case number that they have attended to of the 2 cases was 10K. All right. Right next is the U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. So far, they have scheduled 204 cases. The highest case numbers, they spread across several regions. The highest case number for the AF applicants will be 25K. AS region will be 8K, and then EU region will be 12K, and then SA, there's only 1 applicant who has gone through the US Embassy in Abu Dhabi, and that case number was 89. All right. So of the 204, 94 of those cases belong to folks from the AF region. 90 of the cases belong to folks from the AS region, and then 18 of the cases belong to folks from the EU region, and then 1 case for the SA region. So far, 179 visas have been issued. 210 applicants have their status shown as ready. That means that their cases at the embassy, and some of them are yet to go for interview, and some of them may have already attended their interviews. So far, 14 applicants have been refused visa at the U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi. 48 applicants were asked for additional documentation. So that means that they were refused under 22(1)(g). And then there were 2 transfer cases. So if you were asked for, extra information, you were given the supplementary questionnaire for you to go and fill it out, please do so as soon as possible, because you don't want to cause further delay of your procedure. All right, you don't want to do that because you have yourself to blame. Next up is the U.S. Embassy in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. All right. So the U.S. Embassy in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire have so far scheduled 62 cases. The highest case number they have attended to so far is 25K, and it belongs to someone from the AF region. Of the 62 cases, all of them are from the AF region. They have issued 11 visas so far. They have 90 applicants whose visa status is shown as ready. And then they have 21 applicants whose status are shown as 22(1)(g). They have been refused under 22(1)(g). And guys, once again, 22(1)(g) means that they are requesting for additional information from you. So make sure that your DS2C has been filled thoroughly to make sure that everything that needs to be there has been put there. Just make sure that you're bringing your original documents and photocopies. Bring what is required. The U.S. Embassy in Abidjan obviously asks for affidavit of support. And so if you're going in, don't go empty-handed, because if you go empty-handed, they will ask you to go and fill that out and bring it back. So make sure that everything is on point so that you don't end up, going through a lengthy process. Because when it comes to this administrative processing, this review process, it can take a few days to several weeks to even several months, and you don't want to place yourself in such a situation. All right, so make sure you do what you need to do, what you're supposed to do, so that things can be done in a speedy manner for you. Next up is the U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. So far, the U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa have scheduled 146 cases, and of the 146, 145 of them belongs to applicants from the AF region, and then 1 belongs to an applicant from the AS region. The highest case number that they have attended to will be 11K. So far, they have issued 97 visas. One applicant is placed in AP. 113 applicants have their status under ready, and then there is one applicant who was refused at this embassy, and then there are 9 applicants who have been refused under 221G. Guys, once again, the 221G is requiring more information from you, and make sure that you respond to that as soon as possible, because the longer you delay, then they're going to take more time to also do their review before they can make decisions. So you want to make sure that whenever you are asked to present anything, to provide anything, you do so as soon as possible. All right. I'm sure you've been waiting for the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya. Yes, the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya, as you guys may all know, they are attending to several countries, several nationalities. But so far, the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya has scheduled 180 cases. 180 cases. The highest case number would be 8K. And that is all. The 180 cases all belong to people from the AF region. 52 visas have been issued so far. 271 applicants have their status shown as ready. So that includes those who are about to go for interview and those who may have completed their interview and their case is about to go through, administrative processing, or the embassy is trying to get something from them back. 2 applicants were refused at the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya. And then 18 applicants were placed under refuse 221G. Typically, for folks who are going to the interview in Nairobi, Kenya, the most common problems that folks face there will be, custody issues, like people who may be single mom or single dad. You want to travel with a child, but you haven't sought the consent of the other parent, and sometimes people go for the interview before they discover that, oh, they are supposed to do that. So sometimes that is a problem. And then of course you have people from Uganda who are going for interview in Kenya, and they might be coming with documents that may not be original, may not be from the official source. They might not have the correct stamps. So if you're somebody who is going for interview in Nairobi, Kenya, especially if you are not from there, make sure all your documents are original. All right. Next up is the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, Sierra Leone. So far, this embassy has scheduled 81 cases. The highest case number that they have attended to will be 44K, and that belongs to an applicant from the AF region. All right, and all of the 81 cases that they have scheduled, they all belong to people from the AF region. So far, they have issued 16 visas. They have 111 applicants whose status show as ready, means that they are about to go for interview, or some of them have already completed their interviews. There are 4 applicants who were refused their visas. That is a permanent refusal. And then there are 12 applicants who have been placed under 221G refusal. That means that the embassy is asking for more information from them. It could be various things. They could be asking for original documents. They could have given them supplementary questionnaire for them to fill out. They could have asked for DNA testing. They could have asked for a lot of different things. But please, that is why it is very important for you to make sure that you prepare, where you bring everything that is applicable to your case, so that you don't find yourself in refuse 21G. Okay, because you want to get your approval right away and leave. All right, so just make sure that you're taking that into consideration when you are preparing for your interviews. This next up is the U.S. Embassy in Lome, Togo. So far, the U.S. Embassy in Lome has scheduled 151 cases. The highest case number that they have attended to will be 23K, and it belongs to someone from the AF region. Of all the 151 cases, all of them belong to people from the AF region. So far, they have issued 91 visas. 99 applicants have their status shown as ready, meaning they are about to go for interview, or some of them may have already completed their interview, or some people even missed their interview, right? 10 of the applicants had their visas refused. 10 of the applicants had their visas completely refused. And then there are 6 applicants who have their visas refused under 221G. That means that people are still going for interview and not bringing what they're supposed to bring. Guys, having a checklist is very important, and I keep stressing this in many of my posts, many of my videos. You need to have a checklist so that you can go over all of the relevant documents that are applicable to your case, so that you don't find yourself in a situation like this, because these 6 people who are in 221G, they could have, been issued, and, things would have been done with. But when you go and you don't take what you're supposed to take, you don't prepare well, then you end up in this situation. And when you are under 221G refusal, it could take however long that it takes the embassy for them to get to you. So my people, don't place yourself in such situation where it will be difficult for you to get yourself out of. All right. And last but not the least will be the U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé. How can we talk about all these things without talking about the U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé, Cameroon? That embassy has been doing marvelously well throughout, the past 3 years, or even probably longer. But so far, the U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé, Cameroon has scheduled 411 cases. 411 cases. The highest case number that they have attended to will be 28K. 28K from the AF region, and then there's 8K from the EU region. 28K from the AF region, that is the highest among all the AF cases that they have attended to, and then 8K for all the cases that they have attended to in the EU region. All right. Of the 411, 410 belongs to folks from the AF region, and then there's only one applicant who, one case that is from the EU region. All right. So far, they have issued a total of 238 visas. One case is in AP. They have 373 applicants whose status show as ready, meaning they have been scheduled for interview or they have completed their interviews. And then there are 38 applicants who were refused their visa, complete refusal. And then there are 53 applicants whose cases are under 221G. And as I've explained so many times, 21G is that they're looking for, they are waiting for more information from you, or they ask for more information when they're waiting to see something. So guys, if you find yourself in that situation, make sure that you're providing what is requested from you, what has been requested from you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on all social media platforms. I love you, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye bye guys. Bye bye.